right, so let's talk a little bit about why would you want to ride a really low volume board like Ty's board, and how do you do it? You know, what's the skill required? I myself like to ride fairly high, relatively high volume boards that are more comfortable to balance on. But you know, definitely having the smaller the board is, the more maneuverable it is on the wave. Yes, but why do you ride tiny boards?
Yeah, that's it. I guess just taking the sport to the next level more so, and you can really start to surf a stand-up paddleboard more like a surfboard style surfing. So you can do a lot more snappy, quick maneuvers more so than a slow up and down the wave. You can really get these boards moving, put them on rail heaps quicker, and I guess the low volume part, being able to stand on there, there's a lot of practice that is involved with being able to stand on a board like this. You definitely need a lot of patience to be able to just go from a bigger board and shrinking down to a smaller board. It takes time. You've got to definitely work at it, keep working at it. And I guess there's more so weight distribution when the board's completely submerged. Once you're stationary and the board tends to sink down, you really need to, I guess, say relax a bit more, and you want to just let the board sink, and sort of, if the board decides to pop up on one side, you want to put your weight down on that side so it levels it back out. You don't want one side to pop up, because then the whole board's going to want to reef up to one side. You want to have your weight distributed like evenly throughout the whole board to be able to, I guess, say, yeah, you don't want any part of the board necessarily above the other, otherwise you're going to come unstuck.
So I guess like once the board sinks down and part of your body's in the water, then the water kind of supports some of your body weight too, right? So
yeah,
and plus it's more stable when it's underwater. It seems like, I don't know, watching you, it's like once you have it down there,
they don't get the wind chop.
Yeah,
Under the wind chop.
Yeah, miss all the chop on the top, and I guess you're a little bit more stable underneath, I guess.
But then once you go in to catch a wave, then you have to kind of start paddling and get it to float up again, right?
Yeah, you need some super quick, powerful strokes just to get it back up on its plane. So then I guess you have to sort of slightly angle the nose of the board out to be able for the nose to have the water rushing underneath the nose. So you keep the nose up above, and then eventually the board tends to level out. And with enough speed, you end up catching a wave. So
yeah, so basically what Ty does is uses that dynamic lift of the water pushing under the board by moving to get up to the surface and then catch the wave. Pretty amazing to watch that. What about you? Any tips?
Yeah, I guess more so like learning about smaller boards and getting on a smaller board. Like if you aren't used to completely submerging a board, and you're more so just reducing the size of your board to progress in your own sort of surfing, the main thing is to keep momentum. But the more you do stop and sort of wait, the board is sort of trying to sink, because like depending on how small your board is, it being a board with like less leaderage and like your weight, it's definitely going to sink. But generally people trying to get on a smaller board, the board's only just sinking and it's trying to sink. So definitely keep momentum as you're paddling around. Just keep doing a few laps around the sort of takeoff zone, and it definitely helps to bring the board back up out of the water and makes it a lot more stable. Also using the paddle to balance. Paddle's a huge thing with
paddle is like your walking stick.
Exactly
when you're
right.
about to fall, just dig it in and you'll be stable. Just keep your paddle as your walking stick.
Yeah, definitely always use the paddle.
Yeah.
That's important.
Keep
And
you stable.
just because these guys can paddle tiny boards, don't assume that as a beginner, even if you're a really good surfer, don't assume that you can paddle a small high performance board on your first try. You know, usually what we recommend is when you're starting out, get a board that's about twice the volume of your body weight. So if you weigh 100 kilos, get like a 200 liter board to start on. It'll make it a lot easier. Then that way when you're standing on it, only about half the board is submerged underwater.
And you can make your way down.
Yeah. And then as you progress, you can slowly work your way down. It's not like you go from 200 liters to 100 liter board. Like it's a few steps in between there, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the most common things why people bring a board back, is because it's too small for them. So don't make that mistake. It's kind of like wasting money if you're buying a board that you can't use, really. So, all right. Thanks for watching.